Welcome to the best of the Chris and Ganley show. I am your host, Stanley Johansson. You may notice that I sound a lot like Ganley. Ganley bet me I couldn't do an impersonation of him during the best of show. How am I doing, Ganley? Not perfect, but alright. This week, Ganley tells Chris about his awesome trip to Chicago. Do Manny, Dino, and Costa have what it takes to end a decades-old strike? Listen and find out. Can't go that way.
Speaking of fun things that you've been up to, you went on a little trip. Isn't
Yes,
that
I
right?
did.
A little trip.
A little trip. I went to the big windy city of Chicago and the not so exciting city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, really? Why did you head out to Midwest there, Chicago?
We went to Chicago to see a Cubs game, and we went to Wisconsin, Milwaukee to see a Brewers game.
Just a baseball trip?
Yeah, baseball. I mean, you know.
I didn't know you were that big a baseball fan.
I'm not, but my friends are. So,
Okay.
I mean, I like going to baseball games. Don't get me wrong; it's fun to sit there and hang out and like follow baseball. It's cool. Football is my big sport.
Right.
But-
well, let's start from the beginning. When did you leave?
Last Thursday morning we left, and it was me and Costa and Manny, friends of the show, and Manny's friend Dino.
Had you met Dino before the trip?
No, I hadn't, but I heard a lot of stories that preceded him. So he is quite the character. We're driving down, I believe, the Van Wyck to JFK from Brooklyn, and Dino goes, "Oh no, I forgot my wallet," and we got to catch.
What?
We've got to catch a plane. So he goes, "Oh my God, I forgot my wallet." So we pull over to the side of the road. He looks through his bag. He's like, "We got to go back." So
Oh,
we're already
man.
10 minutes from his house. So we drove all the way back to his house. He picked up his wallet. Like, you can't just get on a plane without having any ID.
Yeah, not nowadays.
And you can't fly to another state or, like, anywhere without having any money. So, like, he had to get his wallet. Like, luckily, we were, like, if we'd gone any farther or if we got to the airport and he didn't realize he had it, we would have been totally screwed.
This is a bad sign of things to come.
Yeah, but we finally, like, no, it was a good sign because we eventually got to the airport, parked the car,
All right.
got in there in time. Because-
Wasn't Dino watching something on the plane that you mentioned?
Oh, on the way there, they had in the morning they had infomercials. I think on the Spanish channel, and it was for this like apparatus that you put on your male sexual organ,
Lower cavity.
You put it on your male organs located in your lower abdominal area,
Yeah.
and it makes it longer, I guess.
What was this on? This is on a Spanish channel?
It looked like it. Yeah, it looked
there
like.
were there were TVs on the plane?
Yeah, we were on a one of them fancy planes with the televisions in the seats, and it had like it looked like a leg brace, but it goes over your business there.
Dear God.
And like it kept showing like it
Frankenstein wiener.
it kept showing this like weird like animation of it pulls your cells apart and then there's like gaps I guess in
Oh,
between
yeah,
your
that's
cells.
that's believable.
Hang on a second.
Cellular science on this.
There are gaps in between your cells that get filled in by, get this, Chris, new cells. New cells generate in your business and they make it longer. That's what the commercial said, and it ran like for maybe a half an
Just
hour.
because your cells are stretched doesn't mean that they're going to be split
But I don't.
and like they're going to increase in supply and amount.
But looking at it, like it looks really painful. And why would you ever wear this thing?
So Dino was watching this on the plane.
He was laughing hysterically. And the plane's landing, and like, when you're on a plane, like people start getting like really nervous when it starts to land or
Yeah.
when it starts to take off because like that's the most possible time the plane's gonna crash.
Yeah.
So like he's just like cracking up during that period of time.
He's watching male enhancement commercials,
And
infomercials.
And he and I laughed. Like he was sitting to the right of Manny at the window, and I was on the aisle, and Manny was in between us. So we're just laughing like in between, and Manny's just like, But I was laughing so hard, I had tears coming out of my eyes because it was just so funny. So we got to Chicago, and when we got there, I was just really, really tired. But they're like, "Oh, well, let's have like a few like spirits before we go out." So I'm like, "Sure, why not?"
Where
So
were you staying in Chicago?
we were staying at the when we got there really early because it was an early flight. It takes like an hour and 45 minutes to fly to Chicago. We stayed at the Congress Hotel, Chris. Now get this.
Yeah.
Get this. Before we went, one of the sticking points that Manny liked about the hotel, and I kind of thought it was cool too, is that the hotel is haunted.
Wait, haunted?
Haunted by ghosts, Chris.
Like Ghost Hunter haunted?
I believe so.
Wow.
It is an old hotel, and it is haunted. And when you look at the place, it's on like South Michigan Avenue in Chicago, which is like in the center of like the businessy area.
Yeah.
Right by the lake, haunted. Haunted by ghosts, Chris. Now, I'll get to the ghost part in a moment.
All right, because that's a pretty interesting part right there.
Yeah, so we spent like time before we checking out Chicago. We saw the football stadium, we saw the museum and the aquarium. We didn't go into any of these things, but we just saw the outsides. Well, we went into the museum. When we found out
the Chicago tour like Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, when we find out you have to pay to get into the museum, we did not go in the museum.
Ah, yes, cheapness.
Yeah. Do you have to pay to get into museums in the city here? New York?
Some of them you do. Some of them you have a suggested donation.
Yeah, here's my suggested donation for that.
Ah, yes, you raised your middle finger, much like Kid Rock or Eminem from the late 90s.
This is totally the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's your Fred Durst attitude right there.
So when we checked
You're not going to take any guff?
No, definitely not. I'm going to break stuff, too.
Yes.
That's like...
Ganley and high culture don't mesh very well together.
Fred Durst spoke to me as a 16-year-old, but when I turned 17, I was like, I don't really know what he's talking about.
Yes, I don't want to break stuff anymore.
I don't want a red Yankees hat.
I want to make stuff. I want to be productive. I'm not some sort of social misfit.
Just one of them days when you want to put stuff together, make something happen, get a vocation.
Get some yarn and knit a sweater.
Or go to technical school and get a degree in welding and make stuff.
Give me something to make.
Give me something to make. How about your nice face? Anyway, after we checked in, we were like, oh, we need to we were going to have some spirits and... I needed to wake up, but like mixing those two things, they don't have Four Loko anymore, Chris. So what I wanted to do, I made this
Nectar of the Gods, Four Loko.
I invented a drink called the Ganley.
You're a mixologist.
I am a mixologist. Do you want to know what a Ganley is?
Tell me.
It is Kettle One vodka, Red Bull, and cranberry juice on the rocks, served in a hotel room glass.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a specific setting. That creates the drink.
It can only be drank. Or drunk.
Consumed.
Drinked. It can only be absconded or something.
Absconded? That's if you're stealing the drink, I think.
I don't know. In a hotel room.
Okay.
So we had that. And I didn't really put a lot of vodka in because, I don't really drink that much anymore.
Right.
So it was mostly Red Bull and cranberry. So I was, kind of wired. And... long story short, Manny's friend Dino had a few, and he exploded with obscenities for the rest of the day.
Dino appears to be the spark plug in this trip here.
Yeah,
unpredictable results.
Yeah, well, he's a really cool guy, but when you fuel him up, he just goes nuts. And I like Dino a lot, but he lets the he's it just got off of leave from the Navy with the swears. We're sitting in
he works in the blue.
We went to Deep Dish Pizza Place.
Ah, that's a Chicago specialty.
Yeah, we went there for Deep Dish Pizza, and he was just sitting there blasting off F-bombs, and we're sitting around all these families.
Oh no.
It's nice Chicago place, and all these families are there, and he's just blasting off F-bombs the fucking Yankees and the fucking Giants and this and that. He's just kind of going off about stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody there really noticed he was doing this. If you did that in New York, people would really get pissed at you. But in Chicago, nobody even noticed or said anything.
Well, you would think that Chicago would have a slightly more Midwestern sensibility about obscenity, and in New York there'd be a more laxed attitude.
I don't know, but it seemed like nobody really wanted to say anything.
Maybe they were afraid of this New York guy named Dino.
Yeah, but he was. I mean. He was just going off and swearing, and and the whole time we were there, he kept he likes pointing out the size of women's breasts, let's say.
Oh yes.
And one of his favorite things,
classy guy.
One of his favorite things to say is big titties, but he says it in a kind of mumbly way so women don't hear it. He goes big titties, he kind of mushes it up so women don't hear it. But when he gets he gets sloshed. It starts getting a little bit more vocalized, it's big titty.
Awkward.
Yeah, so he was just saying it to every woman who passed us, and I was like, Dino, relax.
I don't
so,
like that.
he was saying it in the restaurant, and there was some woman sitting behind him. He didn't see her, but I didn't want to point it out because it's kind of rude. She was breastfeeding her kid in the restaurant.
Oh no!
And I was like, please, God, don't let Dino see this.
This is the perfect storm.
I was like, God, please, God, do not let Dino see this. And he didn't see it, and it was just funny. If I had told him, the whole place would have erupted.
Yeah.
But we had a really good time. I mean, aside from that, we went to Wrigleyville that night. Wrigleyville is the section of Chicago. It's kind of the bar area. It's why Wrigley Field, the baseball stadium where the Cubs play. And we went there to go to some bars and have dinner. and he was still like kind of on his like rant and raving stuff.
He was still juiced up from earlier in the day.
Yeah, but like I was starting to hit a wall because I was on about 3 hours of sleep in the past 2 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go. I have to go. So I got on like the L. I got on the L, and I went.
I gotta go now. Goodbye.
I have to go back to my planet now. Goodbye. Manny, Costa, and Dino stayed in Wrigleyville, and I took the L back by myself. Now, here's where the story
What's
gets
the L?
That is their subway line. It's the elevated train. The L.
The L.
When I got back, like I wanted to go to sleep, so like I got all ready and I brushed my teeth and I lied in bed.
You put on your onesie?
I put on my onesie. I put on my knit hat, or my my hat with the fluffy thing on top.
Ship, 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 ship.
And as I lied down, I'm like, uh-oh. The hotel's haunted.
Oh, right. You left that hanging Chad of a story there.
Yeah, so like I got back there by myself. I'm like, this will be fine. I'll go to sleep by myself. So I'm lying there and I'm like, I'm trying to remember what Manny said about the hotel.
Paranoia gripped you.
Yeah, so I'm like, what did Manny say about the hotel? So I texted Manny and I was like, yeah, I'm back at the hotel. It's haunted. I'm like, here's another interesting thing about the hotel that I didn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
The workers of the hotel, like the maids and whatnot, have been on strike. Guess how long they've been on strike?
A month.
No.
2 months?
Think way longer than that.
2 years.
9 years.
9 years?
Yeah. It is the longest right now strike in the United States. 9 years.
At your hotel?
Yeah. When we pulled up on Thursday.
So who's actually running the hotel now? Are these scabs actually the staff?
The scabs work there.
Have the staff been laid off, essentially?
I don't know. I think they're still on strike. The union that worked there, I guess, is on strike.
Oh, okay.
But it's the longest continuous strike right now in the country.
Something tells me the union lost that strike.
They were still there when we were walking out every day. They were there with the picketing signs for 9 years, Chris.
Wasn't Kramer on strike for 13 years or something?
The bagel place, yeah. But I was thinking, while I'm lying there, back to that, I'm lying there in bed by myself. It's like 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, and I'm freaking out.
Was the wind blowing in the Windy City?
Maybe. I don't know. We didn't have the windows open. You couldn't open the windows. I guess I don't want people diving out. But, like, Manny said that there was, like...
There's a ghost! I'm out of here!
Yeah. Manny was saying that, like, the bathroom, there's, like, scary stuff in the bathroom. So I was just kind of lying there, like...
What are you... Scary stuff in the bathroom?
Like,
what does that mean?
He said just noises in the bathroom.
Well, that could be
not
pipes.
Not like poop. Like, scary, like, ghost noises. But
really? Wow.
Nothing happened, and then Manny, Dino, and Costa came back, and everything was fine by then. But I was really freaking out lying there, thinking of the ghosts that could get me by myself. Now, if I'm with a friend, at least they can, like, help me, like, get rid of the ghost. Like, be gone, ghost! But when I'm by myself, I don't know how to deal with the ghost.
Yeah, I always feel like there's strength in numbers when dealing with opposing forces.
Yeah, and it just... I came to the conclusion, since I didn't actually see any ghosts on this entire trip,
okay,
the ghosts are also on strike.
Oh, maybe they're the ghosts of the strike workers who have already died during the strike.
Maybe.
Because you've got to figure at least one or two of those strikers would have naturally passed away
in 9 years.
In 9 years.
Yeah.
So maybe because they hadn't finished their goal in the temporal mortal world,
yeah,
they haven't been able to pass on into the afterlife.
So you're saying that if they break the strike and they finally get their demands met, the hotel will no longer be haunted?
And these ghosts will be able to be released from the limbo, the purgatory that they're trapped in now in Chicago.
Oh my God.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe, or maybe the people who are working as like the former union members posted that on the websites to scare people from not going there.
I love this now. I feel like we should probably go down there and try and represent these strikers, trying to picket with them. Were they outside picketing?
Yeah, they were outside picketing when we pulled up. They were there with their signs. Yeah, they had their like union whatever. And,
did they do that in the cold Chicago winters too?
Oh yeah, they're right on the lake too.
This is going to give them new motivation. They've got to help their fallen brethren.
Yeah,
they're trapped in that building. It's a dimensional portal, and perhaps some sort of terrible dimensional trance breakthrough will occur, and and some sort of terrible thing will happen unless these strikers get released.
We were also staying in the corner penthouse of Spook Central.
Yeah, this is terrible. I can't believe this.
I can't either. I feel like maybe you're right. I think maybe that's why the hotel's haunted.
Do you think Jimmy Hoffa is a ghost?
Yeah, he, I believe, did business in Chicago. He was a Teamster guy. He could be buried. They thought he was buried in like Ohio, Chicago area, maybe.
Yeah.
He could be the ghost that haunts the place.
Oh, wow.
And he's representing the ghosts in negotiations.
That's right. Ethereal negotiations.
Yeah, and like once the ghosts find out a way, if the ghosts maybe get a new collective bargaining agreement, then they'll go back to work haunting the hotel or the chapel.
Oh, well, I don't know. Do they want a collective bargaining for haunting, or do they want some sort of release from the torture that is being a ghost?
I would have to speak with their representative, but you know what? When we went to Milwaukee, they don't have problems with that in Wisconsin because they don't have collective bargaining in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's true.
Unless if the ghosts are public employees, they can't. But if they're if they're private employees, they can totally negotiate any contract they want.
Yes, maybe we should figure out if who is the governor?
Scott Walker.
Scott Walker. Maybe we should get Scott Walker into the building in the hotel room, and they'll scare him into changing his position.
Yeah, but probably not. He didn't get scared by the entire state showing up at the State House and camping out there for a couple of months.
Well, he won his recall election.
He did, but whatever. The point is that I was scared but then I realized that there weren't going to be any ghosts probably because of this union problem.
How do you negotiate with a ghost?
I don't know. I've never spoken with one. Have you?
You would probably need some sort of medium.
Yeah, or I wouldn't really need a medium if it just came directly to me. Why do I have to pay a medium? Like, why do I need a middleman between me and the afterlife? Think about it, Chris. Can't they just come directly to me? What, do they have people skills? Do they have ghost people skills, the mediums? Why can't they just come to me?
Psychics have the ability to use their brain power to communicate with different dimensions.
Are multiple mediums called media?
I don't know. You would need a media room full of mediums.
I would need to go to the media center to watch Reading Rainbow during indoor recess.
Oh, my God.
Because it's raining outside.
Yeah, I miss recess.
I miss Reading Rainbow. But the point is, I keep trying to stress here, Chris, ghosts need good representation, health care, they need a path to heaven, they need... What else do ghosts need in their collective bargaining? They need a lot of stuff.
They need the wrongs that were committed against them in life to be corrected.
And they're at this one hotel in Chicago, and we stayed there. And it's kind of cool that we stayed there. I mean, I don't really support the fact that they're not helping their employees have better working conditions, but I think it's pretty awesome that there was possibly some ghosts there. I mean, any place can be haunted, but not everybody is like this old place.
So what else did you do in Chicago besides getting involved in ghost collective bargaining?
Well, that was Thursday. Friday, we went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to see a Milwaukee Brewers baseball game. They played the Washington Nationals.
That's not too far away. How long did it take?
About 2 hours.
All right, well.
So we went to the Brewers game. Brewers won. It was awesome. They have a opening and closing dome on their on their baseball stadium, which is nice. And get this, Chris, you've tailgated before in football and baseball stadiums, right? They clean the parking lot after they're done tailgating. I've never seen anybody do that before.
So you run over bottles and garbage and get flat tires?
Nope, none of that happened.
Well, that's pretty cool.
They also had signs there that said, if you have a gun, don't leave it on your seat. Hide it. It said, hide the gun in your car.
Hide your guns.
But Milwaukee's really nice. We didn't really stay there for that long, but I liked it. I mean, it's not really a place I would move to. I didn't see anybody there. I don't know what anybody does for a living there. What, do they work at Hassenpfeffer Incorporated at the beer bottle factory?
I don't know.
I wanted to do the Laverne and Shirley thing, but we didn't really have a lot of time.
No.
Yeah. So, and then we drove back to Chicago, and the next day we went to a Cubs game at Wrigley Field, the world-famous Wrigley... I mean, I'm assuming it's world-famous. Wrigley Field, one of the oldest baseball stadiums in Major League Baseball. The Cubs played the St. Louis Cardinals, who were the World Series champions from last year. Half the stadium... This is Chicago, which is, I believe, 5 hours from St. Louis. Half the stadium was Cardinals fans.
Really? I mean, I know Cubs fans are pretty ravenous.
Yeah. But the crowd was very pro-Cardinals, and like you can hear it in the chanting. They're like, "Let's go Cardinals!"
Ugh.
Yeah, it was really weird being there, and like this, people drove 5 hours, and like when we were out later that night, we saw a lot of people with Cardinals like shirts on. I guess they were making a weekend out of it because they were playing the next day too. So I mean, that's kind of cool. That's what you would do in the Midwest: go to a baseball game 5 hours away.
Well, it seems like you would be going berserk for the Cubs.
Yeah, I mean that's like, I don't really know if
the Cubbies. That's like a huge sports town.
They're not really that good anymore, though.
Yeah, but they're diehard fans out there.
You're right, and the stadium is really small, though.
All right.
But like it's
Wrigley,
just,
that is?
Yes. It's just weird thinking half of it was filled with the opposing team. That's like, imagine you go to like Fenway and half the team is with Yankees fans, which is about 5 hours from New York.
If that happened, there'd be like a full-scale like war.
Yeah. In Boston versus New York. I mean, it's happened before. The Giants always beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but that's a different story. But in conclusion, We came back Sunday. It was an awesome time. Manny, Dino, and Costa and I had a great time. We went out Saturday night and had some drinks. But yeah, Dino is quite the character. He's a cool guy. I'd like to hang out with him again. And we all had a great time. Chris, you should definitely go to the area to check it out.